Don back here again. Okay, so we've got Fedora 20. We got Debian 8.8 installed on the laptop over here, and we just got through trying to boot it up, but we've got a black screen, so I think it's the same thing as when we boot it to the live. This is an 8.8 64-bit. I booted it to 32-bit before on, but that was on a, and it didn't do anything like that I remember. So yeah, I know it didn't. So I don't know. It must be something to do with the 64-bit. Doesn't have they must not have developed the right driver, the complete driver. But anyway, it worked just fine and looked just fine when I use fallback mode or whatever they call it. They call it different things in different distros. But so I'm going to try booting it up again, and I'll leave it here where we can see what's going on. I'll go ahead and put it over here on the just the laptop. Let's see. My live stream's up and good. Let me close that browser so I don't be overwhelming this machine. And I went ahead and plugged in my VGA cable. What I'm talking about here. I plugged my VGA cable back in so that I can see it over here on my monitor and my US, and I can switch with my KVM switch over here up under there. See the little green light, and I'll be able to see it and read everything well on my big monitor over here at the same time. Now that it's installed, I think it can handle it as long as it works. We'll see. If that doesn't work, then I'll have to go back to the drawing board. My camera that I'm using there keeps going nuts on me. Okay, somehow I like the app, but it's constantly popping up advertisements, and you can hit the back button and get out of them. But then if you hit, you hit it too many times, then you turn the app off. So, all right, here we go. Let's see. I'm going to start it up. Oh, let me get over there on it with my KVM switch. Okay, now I can't see what my stream's doing, but that's okay. Main thing is I want to be able to control it with my regular keyboard and read it over here. Now, if you hurry up and hit a key, so it'll boot within like 5 seconds if you don't hit anything. It's not showing over here on my big monitor, but that's okay. I can just read that. Okay, Debian, Linux, Advanced Options, and then Memory Test. Okay, all those extra ones are memory tests, so Advanced Options. So I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. Well, it just says Debian Linux with 3.61 kernel, and then same thing, 3.16.0-4 AMD64, and then recovery mode. So it doesn't have the same thing that the live had. Maybe it would have worked if I would have just waited longer. Maybe it was taking a while. That was the first boot after a brand new install. I'm going to go back up to that one. I think it's the same thing that was on the first screen. Let's see. I'm just going to hit this one. I think it's the same thing. Okay. It hasn't even got to the point that it can show it on my main monitor. Okay, now it's showing. Usually during the boot you can see it, even if it doesn't work in the the GUI desktop. Okay, so far so good. Okay, it's showing stuff about the drives, I think. It just when I begin to focus in and read it, it goes away. Okay, now there we go. Okay, so I don't know if that was this, the main selection, like if I hadn't done anything. So I'm going to reboot. Well, let's log in first and then reboot. Yes? Yeah. Well, yeah, let's do that. Let's see. You have to type in your username in Debian. I'm not used to that. Okay. Okay, there we go. But I do like that some of them you can't just hit enter to log in. You got to click. Something I was in was doing that, and it drove me nuts. Yeah, hardly anything is like that. Something I was in recently that was doing that. So there's Debian 8. They always use that, basically that same color background. And of course, that's their Debian design. That little thing in the center. Okay. What I am wondering about is, okay, I can tell that it set the display to 1024 by 768, and that's because I've got the extra monitor, and I remember in the 32-bit, that's the only, I'm looking through the app, the only resolution it could work at when you're using that extra monitor. But I'm going to leave it like that at least while I'm getting set up for, I want to set up VNC again. I'll go ahead and do that now, and then I'll reboot and see if it'll boot normally. I really want to know about that. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to open up Synaptic Package Manager, and of course you have to type in your root password or super user, and there the little note always comes up. You can tell it not to come up, but it's good to have it remind you until you get used to it. Organizing so-called packages enables you. It'll tell you all about it. So if you're in there, okay. Now I'm going to hit search VNC. And I think you can like click in there and say, yeah, see, I started KR, and it's the first one's KRDC. That's something different. I want KRFB. Mark for installation. It's going to install all that stuff. Quite a bit of apps, but they're not a large amount of, not a lot of megabytes. This is the GUI control. It'll save your life getting all this set up. It also activates. It turns on VNC, turns it on and turns it off. KRDC, what does that do? It's a client. Okay, it's for viewing. So I'm not interested in that right now. And then I want Vino. Whoops. Yeah. Okay, it took me straight to Vino. So that's you can't do that so well in Fedora, but you can in Debian. That's really nice. So now those two things are going to be installed. Plus their dependencies to be installed. And a conda back in MySQL. Well, I'm not going to read through them. There's a lot. It'll tell you. Okay, it is 122 megabyte that it's going to install. It says 300. That's a lot more than I thought. 384 megabyte of extra space will be used. I'm going bottom up. 28 package will be held back and not upgraded. 218 new packages will be installed. 348 megabyte extra space will be used. I wonder if it's doing the updates too. I don't think so. And 122 megabyte have to be downloaded. Okay, I'm going to say apply. And you can click this. That junk moving around in front of my eyes bugs me, so I don't usually leave it like that. But you can if you want to see what's going on. In this case, I'll just leave it right now. Definitely, you'll know when you get to the end. If there's something gone wrong in that window, then you'll see it, so that's a good thing about it. So yeah, it is quite a bit more. So that's why, you don't want to, if you're in the live system, you got to be careful about what you're doing. Okay, so still installing. That was in downloading it. Now it's installing it. You can click that little box there, and it says automatically close after it's done. But I like to know, I want to see the report after it's done. Make sure there weren't any errors or anything, So, gonna check back in on my desktop while this is finishing. I'm just gonna switch my KVM switch. Won't change what you see. I just want to make sure that what you see is what I think what you see. Okay, yeah. So yeah, once I get this VNC installed, I can go back to using my remote desktop like I did before. And actually, while that's going on, I'll can talk amongst yourselves while that happens. I got to look and see, make sure I just want to make sure my live stream is still good. I'm always kind of worried about something going wrong with that. It used to go wrong a lot. That's actually been working so well for about probably a year now. So I think they've really got OBS Studio working really well. And plus, I think YouTube did a lot of improvements on their streaming technology, you know, their software. Since when I first started it 2 or 3 years ago. Whenever they first started it up, I don't remember when it was now. But I think it's at least 3 years ago. And I started out with other different apps. You know, I had never heard of this OBS Studio. But this one's free and open source, and it's really the best one that I've used, in my opinion. So, yeah, I'm all good. And, yeah, if you have a couple of machines and you can let one do the monitoring, especially if it's a laptop, you can just glance over there at it while you're streaming from the other machine. And like I said, this is a quad core with 4 gig of RAM. It can do it. The laptop, the dual core with 3 gig of RAM, it really can't handle it. It's just too much for it. Might do it in Debian. I probably will try it once I get everything else up and going. We'll see. It's taking much longer than I thought it was going to. I'm wondering if it's doing its updates too automatically. That size of how many files, I'm thinking. Of course, on Fedora, it's a lot more than that. It's like 800 megabytes when I first update. I was just kind of going through it real quick. I wasn't paying a lot of attention, but I don't remember seeing anything that looked like it said it was doing any updates. So, trying to think. It's taking longer than I thought, so I was like, okay, what could I be doing here besides just watching that little green line move across there? Gonna leave this just like it is, though, so that I don't get switched off to the wrong thing. Half the time I'll do that, you know, I'll get on my desktop, start showing things, and then forget to switch back. But this is good. This shows what needs, the main thing, the most important part of it. Let me get myself back over there so I can work on that machine with my KVM switch here. So when I'm doing this, it's hard to reach it. I have a pencil up there that I use, but I have to lean up there to do it. Dang it. I think I'm going to have to. Hang on. But I have a lot better control with that pencil than I do using that long back scratcher stick. I can't, you have to have a little finesse when you change the button, because you have to you can't push it in all the way, you have to push it in halfway, because it's kind of half wore out. It's over 10 years old. So it works good, but you can't, you have to have a little finesse when you switch. So we're going to let it keep working. Well, I'll open up the system app and see what's going on there, although it's the one that uses the most, but I'm just always want to know. Okay, of course, I know this doesn't show up well, but Debian 8.8, I'll show this later, 2.9 gigabytes, Core 2. Really, I just want to see what's using what. Okay, CPU, made system monitor using 6%, and that's the thing using the most. Memory, mate panel, okay. Sometimes I'll use it on, leave it on CPU, and sometimes I'll leave it on memory. But I don't, this one here, I like the other one, the KDE system monitor. It doesn't use up so much resources. The mate one, it uses too many to leave it running all the time. Sometimes it'll sit there. On Fedora, you're really using up a lot of CPU. But you still want to, you need to know, what's going on. That's the quickest, easiest way to know. There is a command line app called HTOP. Well, it's called Top, and then HTOP is kind of the new and improved version. And it's all right. It's pretty good, but it is all text with colors, and it's harder for me to make sense, to focus in and see what's going on in there than it is with the regular graphic apps. Okay, see, here's the, it's not, changes applied, but it's still not completely done. It says successfully applied all changes. You can close the window now. Okay, it is done now. Okay, but it was still like when I opened up the details, it was, but that's the little terminal window. You can't type in that one, but you can. It's just a view window. So now I can close it, and then when it's done, let's see. Where's the? I would think there would be some. I don't use, I don't use Debian much anymore. I guess I'll be using it if this all works out well. Anyway, there's a way to check for updates and everything in here. And right now, over here, it does, like in Fedora, it's like a whole list. You can organize it. Well, okay, that was my search results. All shows everything, but still I don't see packages marked that they need to be updated. So in Fedora, they're red. The text turns red. And if they're all good, they're green. And if they're blue, there's an arrow. That blue just started happening. That's pretty good, though. So, okay. Let's go ahead and, I want to go ahead and thinking how I'm going to do it. Since I'm making a video and I know that I'm going to end up showing this Internet, Krfb. I'm still going to reboot, but I think I'll go ahead and I'm going to leave that on that default password, and if I have to use it, I will. Okay. But okay, I'm going to do that enable unattended, and I can. Oops. Yeah, and that way I'll be able to get in there. And I won't change that one until later, after I'm done. Oh, and this, okay. Okay, let's look at this K wallet. Because I'd actually do, you know what? I don't want to set that up right now. I'll just say cancel. Okay, yeah, that'll be good. Now, let's make sure I can connect before I reboot. And that way I'll know that part's good. So let's get on my desktop. But I do want to reboot and see if it's going to boot properly. Or if I'm going to have to always be I'm going to have to do some work on it to get it to boot right. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we got remote desktop. And see, since I used that unattended password, then I don't have to answer it and say, okay, I let it do it. Okay, so there it is. Of course, it's the same as it ever was live there a while ago. But now we can get in the business of setting up our new system. And the first two things we're going to want, it looks like I may want, we'll see how it reboots, but I may want a video driver, and I'll be wanting a Wi-Fi driver so that I can, it's a little slow there, but going ahead and get out of the remote desktop, and we'll go back to our camera and reboot it. Let's see. I think this time I'll use my wireless. Well, I still have it like that. Let's see. How do I want to do it? Oh, I want to get over there on it. Okay. And we'll reboot. Okay. I believe I'm showing it on the camera, right? Okay. Now we will go to System, Shutdown, and in this case, that's what you do, and then you hit Restart or Shutdown. In Fedora, you have to go to the right one. One for shutdown means shutdown, and I think logout you can go to reboot or something. Anyway, I'm going to reboot now. Catch that. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna. If you don't catch it, within about 5 seconds, it'll just log in. I'm gonna start booting up. Let's see if it works good though. A while ago, it didn't, and that does happen sometimes right after a brand new install. And maybe if I'd have waited longer, it would have been okay. I'm kind of beginning to think that was the case because now it seems doing just what it did when I went through the advanced menu and then select the one on the top, which I think is the same thing as that. I didn't pay enough attention to know for sure, but I think so. Okay. Yep. Very good. Oh, I'm so used to only having to type. It goes on Fedora. It goes straight into your password, and you type your password. Yeah, I may have to change my password now. If that was readable, that kind of pisses me off. All right. I sit there and type my password into my username. At least if that camera's blurry, we'll see. Well, I'll watch the video back and see. Yeah. If it's readable, then I'll just change my password then. Okay. It works fine. So I probably didn't really have a problem either. I just, sometimes I've seen them, I've waited, and they just flat don't boot up, and then you shut them down and try getting in, and they work after a new install. And sometimes it's just a matter of waiting a little longer. So let me get back. Let me get to VNC turned on, KRDC turned on. Internet, KRFB, I mean. Okay. Oh, I must have been in a different kernel because it did not save my. Oh, I see. I must not have had that enabled. I don't know, but anyway, now it's got another default password. A different one looks like, but my other enabled stuff is still there with my other password. I would maybe doing that because I didn't enable K-Wallet. So let's go ahead and enable K-Wallet. Let me read this. Let's see. Yeah, various applications may want to store their passwords in K-Wallet and web form and cookies. If you would like these applications to use it, I do like to use it. I just got tired of it. Oh, and the GBP method is more secure, but you must configure at least one encrypted key on your system. Well, I'm not going to do that right now. It might be a good thing to do, but classic format, be warned that the password you choose cannot be recovered if it's lost. And will allow anyone who knows it to obtain all the information contained in the wallet. Oh, I thought it was going to say it was in plain text mode, but that's not what it is. So you know what? I'm gonna worry about that later. Hit cancel. I'll worry about that later. I don't want to do that right now. This is one of those things where, when you're typing in passwords and all that, you really, even though it's not showing, I want to make sure I get it right and don't foul it up. And if I'm trying to talk and all that at the same time, I may foul it up. So I think I'll be fine to be able to log into it. Let me get over on the other machine. It may be aggravating because I had it turned on in my live systems and it kept asking me that every time I opened up that KRFB app. And maybe what I'll have to do to save the passwords in it. I don't know. We'll see. But let's go to the desktop now. Okay, we are on the desktop. Now we should be able to log in. Okay, good. We're good. So that password's saved in there, and we're all good. Desktop sharing is on. Now that's it saying the remote user is controlling your desktop. That's, of course, over there coming from the laptop. Okay, so let's see. Make sure we're still on my desktop. Okay, now I'll go ahead and I get a little worried about there's some apps that you have to know like a 4-key shortcut's the only way to get out of it. This one has a little GUI button, but sometimes it doesn't want to respond when you've been working. Like a while ago earlier, I was holding that up there and it wasn't coming up. And I thought, oh, I can't. And I was trying to get out before it shut down and all that. So anyway, we're all good. So here we go. Brand new Debian 8 system, 64-bit. Of course, I think I showed these apps in the live session. We'll just kind of go through them. You got Office. You got two versions of you've got Firefox ESR and iSweasel Firefox ESR. So that's the exact same app, just with two different names on it. Then you've got VLC Media Player. Very basic, so you're definitely going to want to install stuff. Going to have to do them all one at a time, or well, I mean, you can pick more than one at a time, but you're going to have to. I don't have any install scripts for Debian, so I can't run any install scripts. I'll have to just look through and install them as I go. But all the preferences and everything here. And the monitors, well, I could disconnect that, and it would be widescreen instead of 1024 by 768. I'm going to leave it as is right now. I mean, the only difference is it's a little, like if you played a video or something, it'd be a little out of shape. But if I was to make it the regular size, it would. If it changed, it might cause trouble in the VNC app, make hard for the VNC app to know what to do. But actually, I might want to do that just to give the machine a little less to do. I don't know if that's why I'm getting a little delay or what's going on here. See, I'm getting delay. It doesn't seem to be. I don't think it's delaying over there. No, it was just not. VNC was just getting a little behind. Now it's okay. Yeah, I think I will unplug that monitor because now that I can control it this way, I don't need it. It's silent. Fan's not running hard or anything. We'll see what happens when we open up. Now let's go to the display and see if we can change it. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. Okay, see, we're on. I don't think we can change it. Yeah, we can't change it. That's the height it can do. I would probably have to reboot to do that. Yeah. So it's pretty much just still seeing. I guess it still thinks that monitor's hooked up to it. Yeah, it's doing it again. There we go. You just got to get in the right place right there in the center. Okay, so kind of interested in that. Kind of seems silly to reboot again, but I think I'll do it. I'm going to reboot because I've got my wireless mouse, to get KRFB opened up again. Oh, wrong place. I accidentally opened up something. Pluma. Okay. And the main reason is, well, let me get this going and then we'll see. I'll explain to you, Lucy. Okay, here we go. Rebooting. Now I'm not going to touch it. We'll see if it all works like it's supposed to. Looks like it's going to. And that's pretty nice, though. It's really, other than a few little worries here and there. Well, of course, trying to get all that Fedora stuff off the stick was a pain, but the installation went really pretty well. It is a little slower than, probably just because I was less familiar with it, but a little slower than Fedora. Let me log in. If I got that right, then we should be logged in here in a minute. Yep, we're good. Okay, now let me get Krfb back up again. I bet that K wallet will pop up again. We'll see. Yep, it sure did. I'm not going to do it now. I think it's going to bug me. Oh, and it's not enabled until after. Yeah, I guess that's why it's. I'll have to do that K wallet, but I'm not going to do it right now. Screencast. Connect. I actually forgot and left my. Let's see. I forgot and left my router pointing to the laptop instead of to the Windows 7 machine the way I like to keep it. But that's good because I didn't have to do it again today. Okay, so we're all good. We've done a couple of reboots now, and we're doing all right. Okay, so let's get back out of there and. Okay, yes, I'm switched to my desktop. And if we really worry about it, then we can go check our live stream. Guess I could have done it on the laptop, but I've already opened this up, so we'll look at it before we move on. Once I get rolling, I'll forget, you know. Live stream is good. Always go ahead and pause it right away so that it doesn't start using up too much memory. It's doing okay there, but I don't dare leave it going on that live stream. But YouTube just uses a lot anyway, period. So yeah, we're on the desktop. Okay, now. Okay, Debian. And only difference in seeing it this way would be is if I could actually do OBS Studio straight from Debian, which I might be able to. We'll see. Okay, so our apps we went through a couple times. Home folder, go there. I'm not a fan of green all that much, other than green grass and green leaves on trees. And the main thing is just the way the buttons and everything are laid out for me. But of course, everything's empty. There's the whole main file system. And for one of the first things I'll be wanting is my favorite file manager, Crusader. But we really need updates before you start all your other work. And you can do this. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Let's see. It is my VNC is just a bit slow to, you know what? I think full screen I think takes more data. So let's just leave it like that. I think that might help. But I can do a view. Let's see, no, you have to go to preferences. I like to see the hidden files and backups. I want to see my system files and do what I want to with them. Just make sure you don't delete them. Behavior, view, using not icon view, but gotta hold it down. List view. Okay, now the rest is you pretty well leave blank. Why isn't it changing? Still not working any faster. A while ago it was doing better. Maybe my Fedora system's getting tired. I have been making videos for a long time here. Well, it's nothing happening on the laptop. That's what it is. Oh, documents is empty, dummy. There we go. Okay. All right, so there's one or two things I want to do kind of right away. Appearance. Oh, that's why it looks so much like Fedora, because this is my desktop. Okay, so yeah, I like shiny and I like that one there. Let's see what shiny looks like. That's pretty shiny. This is the one I like. Yeah, it's just pretty basic, but the main thing I want out of it is when you have your apps open, I want the minus, the square for the minute maximize, and the X for close. I can see that and hit the target quick. There's my file system, my hard drive, my DVD, and unlabeled amount location. I don't know why that's in there like that. I don't even know what the heck. Okay, so I don't, like I said, I use Crusader, and see, before I can really get seriously working on any system, I need my apps. But first I want to go, let's see. It's best to do your updates in the command line on the new system, because at least with Fedora it usually always is. Okay, let's get the screensaver turned off though before we have trouble with that. I don't want it locked. I don't even want a screensaver right now. Power management. Now this is a laptop. Let's see. I don't ever want that put to sleep. Suspend is fine, I guess. No, suspend. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if it can do that. It probably can. I don't want hibernate. Let's see. Spin down hard disk when possible. That's usually not a real great thing, if not on AC power anyway. Don't want this display ever to go to sleep on AC power. I don't ever want it dimmed. I want 100% of brightness. On the battery, that's okay, you know. I don't want it going to sleep. Suspend is good when you shut the lid. And when the battery power is critically low, I really want it to shut down. I mean, you could do hibernate, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, shutting down is better. And display to sleep when inactive for 10 minutes. I'm gonna, it jumps to 30 minutes. We'll go 30 minutes. This is battery's okay. And dim display when idle. Backlight brightness. That may be too. And I'll leave it like that. That always warns me, like whenever I turn it on and and sometimes, you know, my cable, when I'm going to watch TV and I'm going to be on there quite a while, my little plug comes loose and I don't know it, but I notice it when the backlight brightness changes. So, yeah, just like that. Okay, and no locking it. Drives me crazy. Screensavers I do like to use, but not right now. Later on, I'll set it up to play when I get some background desktop pictures in there. I like it to. Usually, I just use my desktop backgrounds, but I don't even have anything on there right now. So, change the appearance the way I liked it. Okay, don't need to do any more there. Synaptic. Control Center. Let's go into Control Center and see what it might have in there about updates. I'm going to try making it full screen again, because I think maybe that wasn't. No, there's not a lot of settings in the Control Center. I guess if you have to pay attention to what's in here and then go to the areas. I find them quicker and easier just by going to the menus they're in. That's because I'm used to it. But anyway, that's a useful thing. Okay, now I'm going to go to Synaptic. And I want to see where the update settings are in there and all that stuff. And this is where you reload the packages. Reload the package lists, and that's a good thing to do if it hasn't been done lately. And I think there's actually might be an app that you can, or a setting or an app you can do to make it do it automatically. But well, it can get, if it does it anyway. It seems like I used to do that. But also, if they keep reloading all the time, it'll drive you crazy. You know, it takes a while. When you get a lot of, well, actually, it was pretty fast just then, but it used to take a while. Generate a package download script. Okay. Yeah, there's some cool things in Synaptic. You can do fix. Well, there's mark all upgrades. That's what I was looking for. Fix broken packages. Mark packages by task. I'm going to mark the upgrades in a second here. There's your preferences. I usually don't fool with that too much. It's been a while since I've been in here, so I'm just going to get back out of there. Oh, I was talking about. Yeah, I'm not going to change anything in there. Repositories. Now, in Fedora, you always want to get RPM Fusion, but that's RPMs. In Debian, I don't remember. It's been so long. I don't use Debian enough to know if they have any extra repos you can add that would be good. If I find myself lacking in packages that I want, let's see, what's this? Oh, CD-ROM. I guess that's like a leftover from what I used to install it with. But no, so I'm not going to change any of that. If I find myself lagging in packages, then I'll have to look into that. But right now, I don't even know what to be able to say. Okay, so you can, where is it? Okay, go to Edit and go to Mark All Upgrades. Okay, there we go. There's plenty of them. Let's see if it works in the GUI. There's a whole bunch. Oh, Samba, yeah. I don't think Samba server's running on here by default, but that's something that's different from the last time I installed Debian. You used to always be able to pick a lot of different things like different desktops, app groups, servers. It didn't ask you any of that unless I clicked too fast and missed it. But yeah, so I just saw today, that WannaCry malware virus that encrypts your hard drive, ransomware. There's also a version of it called SambaCry, and it can hit Samba servers, which is the way that Linux networks with the Windows networking. And so you want to pay attention to that. So yeah, if you want any kind of updates you want to go ahead and get them. So let's see if I don't see anything being selected there. I'm in all. Oh, there's all those. Now here's the groups that I've been talking about. There's the groups. Right now I'm not going to be, doing that, but I don't remember how you. Let's go ahead and hit apply and see if there's, to be upgraded. So it wasn't showing them in the window, but they were there. So let's go ahead and do that. It's only 51 megabytes. It was smaller than Vino and KRFB. So it's already to the installation. So that's good. If you do have trouble in Fedora, I almost always have to do a command line update. For some reason that works better the first time than the graphic app. Maybe because the graphic app needs updating or something. I don't know. It looks like it's going to work fine without any trouble. We'll see. I just remember, did it ever ask me for my root password? Maybe it didn't. I forgot that I typed it in, but I think it does when you open it, doesn't it? But anyway, so it's already installing the updates. And then after that, then I can go in here and try out Fedora Firefox. And I'm already itching to check on my live stream, so I'll do that. But I think we can wait that long. But now, see, now VNC is working fine now. I don't know why it must have been. I'm thinking it was a network lag, which could affect my live stream. But luckily, I do. I record these on my hard drive at the same time as they're being streamed. So if any of them I find out they're messed up, then I can always delete that streamed video and upload the backup. Okay, it's also successfully applied, and then there's your command line. If you ever have errors, you can go back through here and look and see what they are, and maybe even figure out how to fix them. That's good. We got our first update done. Though, that's a lot faster than in Fedora. I thought I closed that. Did I go to? Okay. What in the world? I guess it never closed. Okay. There we go. Now we're closed. Oh, the laptop is finally on its normal size. When did that happen? Oh, I rebooted. And I had I forgot about that. Yeah, so see, I unplugged the VGA cable and rebooted, and now it's filling the screen properly. So yeah, it almost fills this window here. But I guess you're seeing what I'm seeing, what I'm guessing. Okay, now I'm going to go to Firefox ESR. I don't know. I think I opened them both up before, and they look identical. So I don't know if they're just different links to the same app or not. We'll try and find out pretty soon here. So there's Firefox, and yeah, I just remembered I won't be able to go to my live stream without. Let me go check my live stream before. Well, let's close this extra stuff. Of course, if you're not familiar with Firefox and Linux, that's how it looks when you open it up first time. Does that in both Fedora and I guess that's just Firefox. That's what it does. And I'm going to check my live stream before I keep going here, and make sure I am hooked up to the right. I'm showing what I think I'm showing and everything. I was going to check it in there, but I realized, I'll have to type in the login and do all that junk. Okay, we are still live and still good. Still have good stream health. So, farm out, man. Remember when everybody used to say that? Oh, of course not, unless you're my age. Actually, that probably wasn't something they said up north, but that was a big popular saying down here in the old Texas regions. Farm out, man. A lot of people thought that was seriously cool to say that. Well, it's kind of cool. I mean, it's all right. Better than groovy. Whoops.com. Good thing that wasn't something weird. It's really funny because groovy was in the 60s when I was a little bitty kid. So as soon as I was a teenager, it was already uncool. Dorky to say that. And then when my kids were growing up during the late 80s and early 90s, everybody was saying groovy, and then they quit, and now they're starting it again, or they did. I don't know if they quit again already. Okay, what I need to do, I'm not logged in, so if I search for my username, then I'll find my own videos, but I don't want the live stream that I have going right now. I just want to play a sample video, so I guess it doesn't matter what I play. It's one of my older videos. Let's see how it looks. Oh, I get a nice advertisement. Oh, that's one of those movies that YouTube makes. But that's when I was installing I don't know if you can even hear me. I can't remember. I think the mic will play over the audio on the machine. Yeah, it does. Of course, that's pretty loud, so. Yeah, that was one auto-made movie by YouTube. Let me hit. Oh, there's no home button or anything, or it's not in the right place. Put the menu bar back in there. Is there a home button? Yeah, there's a home button. That's what they're going to give you for a home page until you change it. So I won't, well, actually I will customize, because it drives me nuts not having these stuff the way I like it. So I don't want the stupid pocket. The download button belongs at the top, and home button belongs over here. Where'd he go? Didn't move. Download button. I guess I'm trying to move it. Yeah, I'm trying to move it in the wrong place. Is it not letting me? I did it before in Fedora. There. And this right here I like in between the search. Okay, now that's fine for now. I also like to have a reload button and all that, but we'll do that later. Okay, And of course, I like regular YouTube. I don't like to search through. Actually, that's probably going to be Yahoo. Yeah, I want to change my search to Google. There we go. Oh, now it takes me to Google. Okay, that's what I want. Now you can say, of course, I'll probably have to make that my home page. Starting to slow down a little bit again. I can see it on the laptop, but it's not coming in here. I may be doing about as much as I can do with all this remote desktop stuff. I think that, I don't know, well, you know what? After streaming for quite a few hours, sometimes as soon as I've had it happen several times, as soon as I cut my stream, then my internet gets so slow I can't use it. So I think it overwhelms my router, and I have to, and then I know it overwhelms my router, and I have to reboot my router, and then I'm okay. So that's probably what's going on here. I'm probably overworking my router. Let's see. I can see it on the laptop. Now, there we go, but it's not all showing up here. So let's just go ahead and close that. I did hear the fan running a little bit. And let's see, yeah, okay, make sure I'm showing what I want to show. So I did get my first updates. And there'll be lots of things I want to install. But, and I might look around. The main thing is, I'm going to want Crusader. And let me show that right quick and go back in there. Let's see. I think I'm going to absolutely have to quit. I'm tired anyway. I need to quit. But here's what I would do. Let's see. Well, let's look over here. Here's some groups which I don't pay much attention to usually, but that could save me some time, because otherwise I've got to do them all look for them all one at a time, and select them, or the apps that I want, or if I was able to get some app groups from some of my old systems and make group install scripts like I do in Fedora, but there's no skip broken in Debian. There never was. I don't think there is now. So you would have to get everything perfect. Every app has to be there in the repos and everything. But yeah, there's a lot of groups. There's one, XFCE desktop environment. Now I would actually want that. Actually, what I'm most interested in right now is things in KDE. I don't really need the whole KDE. I just need the stuff that goes with Crusader. KDE desktop environment. I just didn't see it. Thing is, you probably don't want to you can click. I figured that out the other day. You can click at the top here and select everything in that row. I believe you can. I did it the other day, and then I couldn't unselect it, so I'm not going to do it right now. But there's stuff that you may not want, though. Of course, if you're new to all this, you're not going to know what all that is. I mean, what I did was read. Like Apper, that's an app manager that I wouldn't even want on here. So, yeah. But you read all the descriptions. I mean, it's easy to figure out. It just takes years to learn. I mean, if I could remember all the things I've read the descriptions of, I'd be golden, but I can't remember all of it. That's why I save everything, and bookmarks, and make install scripts and do all that sort of stuff. Amateur radio. But if you were just looking for types of apps, this is really good. Communication. But you look through here and read and see, a lot of them you're not going to want every one of them, because there are different versions, like 386 and 64-bit, there's just so much of it you don't need, and you could end up getting actually more than you got space, So you don't want to just install a whole group. But, and it's kind of odd, because like I said, you could say, okay, I want to install a server, and it would install everything needed to make a good web server, or for email server, or this or that. All that was in the Debian installer, and I didn't see that. I don't know if that's because of the way I did it with the live version. Maybe that's it. Maybe it was only set up to install
that live version that I was running. I bet you that's it. I bet if I would have used the net install, it might have gave me all those options. As a matter of fact, I'm beginning to think I remember that. Because I do remember I've always used the net install for years anyway. I bet you that's it. And that's okay on this laptop, I think. I don't want a whole bunch of junk on it. I just want to have it do the things I want, like watch videos. You can see it's already, it works on YouTube. That was the thing I was going to show, and I didn't mention that, but that's what I was wondering. I knew it did because I tried it before in a live. So, but I do want Crusader. I think I'll do that right now. Okay, so if I install Crusader, it's going to install what parts of KDE Desktop that it needs for Crusader to work. Crusader debug, you don't usually need those debugging packages unless you have errors and you need to report a bug. You might need to install those to report a bug to the developers. That looks like it's all it's going to install. I don't know. We'll see. Let's try it and see if it will run. Okay, says it's done. I guess I'll leave that like it is for right now. Now let's go find Crusader. Of course, my favorite apps I like to put up here, put a link to them up there. Like, let's see if you can do that. Right click, right click and say add to launcher panel. That should put it right up there. This is in the Mate desktop. It'll do that. Oh, did it work? Yeah, it did. It just hasn't showed up yet. I believe my there it is. I'm going to have to quit simply because I think my router's getting too tired. Let's see, accessories. Yeah, there it is, Crusader. I'm going to go ahead and put that up there. Oh, no, that worked right away. Yeah, things are just getting a little wonky. So let's open up Crusader. Welcome to Crusader, and first run, it'll check for external applications that helps it work. So everything's cool there. I'm just going to leave it all just at the default there, except for I will probably, okay, there's certain things like I want to save my changes in here on exit. I have a certain way I like it, and then it'll say, do you want to save that? Yes. I may try to, the view, I like that to be, I'll probably have to go back through here. Yeah, I think I will have to go back through here at a later date and get it all. Oh, yeah, this. I like this laid out a certain way. Okay. Home, equal. I don't like that one. I think that's it. Yeah, I don't want to try to do too much. My eyes are tired, and the machine, my eyes are about as tired as my router, I think. I like the auto mount file systems to be on. Hopefully, I don't know if everything will work exactly the same in Fedora. And see, these are the types of file compression that it'll support. If you want to see the ones that are black, grayed out, those are not selecting, but you'd have to add some more apps, install the apps to make them work, I believe. At least you do in Fedora. Okay, so I'm not going to do any more than that right now. There's probably some more things, but that's the main thing. Close. Now it'll open up the app. And it should pretty well work the way I want it. Let's see. Yeah, I've got it download. I didn't know if it's, for a while there, Debian wasn't giving you your basic folders. You know, you had to put them in yourself. And, well, not a big deal, but if you don't spell them the same, then when you go to sync with the, like if you don't spell them right or with the capital letters and all that, then when you go to sync, you'll have trouble. So there we go. Now I have my beautiful Crusader file manager. I like that. Okay. There'll be more setup that I want to do on it, but you can spend months setting up a new system the way you like it. But there we go. I'm happy with that. And I'm debating on the laptop. I've always set up. I probably will. But I don't think. No, yeah, Thunderbird's not even on here. And you can move them. Right click and say move. There you go. So Thunderbird's not even on here. Okay, that was saying, do you want to check for? Actually, I don't like letting I don't like VLC looking for icon images, because if I play my own music, it shows somebody else's icon from my website. So, let's see. Oh, I like to have the playlist showing. There we go. And what's the network streams? I think. I mean, I know it works. It always does, but oh, and I'm adding more network streaming here by doing this. Yeah, good idea. It can be really slow at discovering them, and then there'll be a bunch of music and stuff you can play. There used to be a bunch of video, like some other countries, like France, would have their live TV playing over VLC streams and stuff. Well, not really VLC streams, but that's what you'd watch it in. Like bonjour services, I believe that pretty much all comes from France. But I think it might be all right. It's running good, and the fan didn't go completely nuts when I was turned on YouTube for a minute. I didn't run it long though. Oh yeah, here's the others. Everything wasn't showing up because of the size of the video, I guess, and it's just that way for some reason. Oh, it's I can tell it's a lot lower resolution in this remote desktop than it is over there on the on the laptop it's doing the same thing. So normally I don't have to page down. These are the ones I didn't see them, but I don't remember which ones are which. These are the ones that'll have all the radio stations. See, they're coming in quicker. Network streams, that's what I'd clicked on, and that's local network. But see, it'll go through and find them all, and then you can play them. But anyway, I think I will just go ahead and close it, because I don't see any. I got a feeling that adding one more thing for that router to do would just be a bad idea. Okay, so cool. Well, there's your Debian 8 basic system. There's how to update your first update, how to basics of getting around the Synaptic package manager, a few little things with the desktop. There'll be a whole lot more I'm going to want to do to it, but the main thing is I wanted to open up Firefox. Well, I did say I wanted to open up Firefox ESR. I don't believe there's any difference that you can see right off the bat. Yeah, see, it's the same homepage that I gave it a while ago. It doesn't look any different. The only thing I can see is, okay, Firefox 45.9. I think we're on 53. It says Firefox ESR, just like, now watch. Whoops. Watch me not do it right. Okay, now then. Firefox ESR, see? I think it's the same one. I don't know why there's two different links right there next to each other for two there. 45.9. So it's the same app. It's just two different links to it. I don't know. Okay, so I will be installing. Actually, there's one app. Okay, there's one. That's pretty good for Vivaldi. Is a lightweight version of Chromium. There's Chromium, and actually, I went in and it synced. Chrome had got to where it wouldn't run on here, and it wasn't getting updated anymore either. This is Fedora 23. I'll get out of here so that it can not be confusing. And so I installed Chrome, and then I thought, oh, it ran just as good as Vivaldi did. I mean, it should. Vivaldi's built on Chromium. But then I went and synced it with all my bookmarks and stuff from Chrome, and then it won't run. It's just sit there using like over a gig of memory, and I think it might still be syncing, but I can't use it. I just don't even open it up. In Chromium, I can't use it at all. I mean, Chrome, you can't use it at all anymore. So, But you know, some of those things that might not work in Firefox, you need some version of Chrome to. And Vivaldi's all right for a lot of things. There's some websites with videos that won't play, and I didn't fool around with trying to get them to work. I didn't want to. But some it will, some it won't. I think when I first opened it up, it wouldn't work in YouTube or something. And maybe I fixed that. But anyway. Okay, so, well, see, there it went back to not responding in VO. It's just back and forth. See, I need to just quit. I'm tired. I'm as tired as this feels as this network here. My network is. My router is. Okay, pretty cool. I think maybe this is going to be okay. It'll take, you know, with the laptop, I find that I really get it set up. Once I get it set up, I don't fiddle with it much. I don't install and uninstall a lot, so I won't have to remember app. You know, what happens when I jump between Fedora and Debian is, you know, I get in the command line and I start typing DNF or yum or whatever, and I'm in for Debian, you know. And I don't know very many apt commands anyway, so oh yeah, the drivers and all that stuff. Well, I'll do that next time. Wi-Fi drivers and yeah, those. While I have it open here, let's see if I can do that. Get me a text app or something. There we go. Puma text editor. All right, now let's see if I can go up here on my Fedora system. There, my Debian 8. Those cool. Sometimes that doesn't always work, but it usually works. Okay. So now I will have me the names of those drivers. Looks like it's telling me the actual. I'm not sure. That does not look to me like Linux. I think that's the actual name of the driver. Like maybe that's the proprietary driver name or something. B43. I'll just start looking that up in Synaptic. Oh, man. Come on. Okay. I'm just trying to copy this. Try edit copy this time. Because I want to use it for the file name. Now I want to get into Dawn documents. I don't know. And there. That way I'll have that on the system for me to copy and paste into Bang. But B43 Unicode 15.fw. It's actually the same thing. Oh, and then open code. Okay, so maybe that'll be in the Synaptic package manager. B43 open. I'll have to just search around and see if that's available. If it's not, I'll have to go to the Dell archives, you know, and see if there's any drivers available for Debian and all that stuff. Or there may be some, well, it says open, so there may be some open project that's making those drivers. But I know I'm going to need the, I was afraid I was going to need the video drivers, but it seems fine now. But the Wi-Fi, the wireless, okay, like, where's my wireless? Where is it? There we go. Or not wireless, but connection information. Okay, see there, it doesn't even see, normally there would be two in there, one for the wired and one for the wireless. Well, it doesn't even see the wireless card because I got to install the driver. So that's what I'm talking about. That's the number one thing I want to do because the laptop's not a laptop without Wi-Fi, is it? All right. Well, unless you're right here in the house and you never take it out like I'm doing, but most of the time. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shut this thing down from right here because I'm having all the fun I want for today on it. It's up and running, ready to go. I can even watch videos on it if I want to because that's nice about Debian. Go ahead and hit shut down. That's nice about Debian is that I didn't have to do any work and fixing to get YouTube to play, at least. And so I'm happy with that. There we go. So, took a good long time, didn't it? But, yeah, I think maybe that's the way I'm going to be able to leave it. I was kind of leery about trying it because usually I install Debian on an older machine, and it things that don't work that I don't want to fiddle around with trying to fix in the command line and all that stuff. But if the Wi-Fi driver is the only thing, then even if I have to do it on the command line, that shouldn't be too bad. Just have to find the right commands and do it. The video seems fine. I don't play games, so I don't need 3D and all that junk. Once in a great while, I play that flight simulator, but I haven't done that in 2 or 3 years now, I guess. But okay, well, this is Don, and now my Dell 1525 is going to be Debian 8, looks like, and I will leave it like that for quite a while, probably. All right, we'll see you later.